As people get older, life changes not only on the outside, but also deep inside. Some wake up in the morning and instantly remember which pills to take. Others look out the window and feel that the day is no different from the one before. When work is over, the children are grown, and daily responsibilities shrink. Silence fills the space, and that silence becomes unsettling. It's especially intense in lonely moments, when no one calls, when the TV runs quietly in the background, and the only movement all day is the kettle boiling in the kitchen. It's as if time freezes, and inside, a slow and dangerous feeling grows, a sense that everything has lost its meaning. This is not rare or just a whim. Millions of older people around the world experience a lasting sense of emptiness, disconnection from life, and the feeling of being unneeded. Many don't even recognize it as a problem. They simply withdraw, stop striving for anything, and lose interest. But psychologists say this is one of the most damaging states in later life. According to the World Health Organization, more than 20% of people over 65 experience symptoms of existential crisis, and 1 in 10 elderly people in Europe suffers from deep depression due to a lost sense of purpose. Even more troubling is that this directly affects health. These individuals have a 28% higher risk of heart disease, more frequent cognitive decline, weakened immunity, and poorer sleep quality. It's not just a psychological issue, it's a condition that can lead to physical breakdown. But there is hope. This condition can be changed, not instantly, not overnight, but gradually, step by step. In this video, you'll learn methods that truly help older adults regain stability, discover new meaning, and reopen interest in life. Watch until the end. There are no empty tips here, only practical and tested approaches. If this video brings value to you, please subscribe to the channel and give it a like. Your attention helps others find the answers they need too. The feeling of meaninglessness doesn't appear all at once. It builds up. First, you notice that everyday tasks no longer bring joy. Then, conversations become shorter. At some point, you realize that you haven't left the house in days, not because of pain, but because you simply don't want to. Each new day feels like déjà vu. This condition drains your energy, makes you passive, dulls your initiative. Apathy appears, interest in food, clothing, and appearance fades. Everything starts to feel the same gray tone. This isn't just a mood, it's a deep shift in how you experience life. Even more dangerous is that this state causes physical disruption. With prolonged lack of motivation, dopamine production slows down. That's the chemical responsible for goal-driven behavior and pleasure from action. Without it, the internal drive to move disappears. The brain begins to process signals more weakly. Attention scatters, memory worsens, anxiety rises, sleep becomes shallow, and the immune system weakens. Researchers from the Swedish Institute on Aging found that people who feel their life lacks meaning have inflammation markers in their blood that are 1.5 times higher than normal. Even internal organs respond to emotional emptiness. Recovery begins with something simple, admitting the problem. As long as a person keeps saying things like, "I'm just tired," or "I'm lazy," or "everyone feels this way," nothing changes. But once the honest thought arises, "I don't feel meaning anymore," the door opens. This is not weakness. This is the beginning of a path. What matters now is not speed, but direction. The first step is to build structure into the day. Without a schedule, the brain treats each day as a repeat of the last. There's no difference, no anticipation, no focus. To break this pattern, you need small rituals. Wake up at the same time every morning. Do gentle stretches, even while sitting. Have breakfast not in front of the TV, but at a clean table, maybe with a fresh tablecloth or a favorite mug. Then go outside, even just for a short walk. These simple routines create anchor points, giving your mind a sense of order and control. Structure is the foundation for restoring motivation. Another essential element is intentional activity. This doesn't mean rushing to find your new life's mission. In fact, you should start small. Take care of houseplants, organize your photo albums, write letters, or keep a household journal. These small tasks give the day meaning. If something sparks interest, it becomes a reason to move forward. Even if you simply decide to explore a new topic, like the healing properties of herbs or your family's traditional recipes, it already creates direction. Each new piece of knowledge, each meaningful task, reactivates the areas of the brain responsible for focus and motivation. Equally important is reconnecting with people. The sense of meaninglessness often comes from isolation. When you feel no one needs you, when your experience seems forgotten, emotional withdrawal begins. But often this is not the real situation. It's a result of long-term silence. Many older adults avoid reaching out because they fear being a burden or unwanted. But in doing so, they lose access to the most powerful resource: human connection. Even a short phone call, a visit with a neighbor, or chatting with a shop clerk brings life back. These tiny moments lower stress hormones and activate the brain's emotional circuits. Many people feel lost precisely because, after retirement, they lose their social role. If you used to be a teacher, a doctor, a driver, a builder, an accountant, these roles were part of your identity. When work ends, a piece of that identity disappears. The question naturally arises: who am I now? The answer isn't in trying to go back, but in creating a new role. You can become the keeper of your family's history, a mentor for younger relatives, a helper in your local community, someone who shares life experience. Even if it's an informal or unofficial role, it still holds value. According to one medical journal in the U.S., older adults who feel involved in helping others are less likely to develop dementia and show more stable cognitive function, even 5 years after starting regular volunteer activity. Physical activity is also essential to rebuilding a sense of life momentum. The key is not intensity, but consistency. Even if you just stand up and walk through your apartment every hour, take a loop around the yard, lift your arms or rotate your shoulders, that already sends a signal to the brain. The body is alive. It wants energy. It's in motion. These signals are vital to trigger the production of brain chemicals, including serotonin. Stretching, gentle bends, slow head turns, and breathing exercises are especially helpful. They stimulate the balance system, improve circulation, and release muscle tension, often linked to anxiety. Another important step is rethinking your life story. After the age of 65, it's not only important to move forward, but also to understand the path you've already walked. Many older people feel their life has lost meaning because their past seems unfinished or unimportant. But that's a distortion. Everything you've done matters. You worked, you cared, you survived, you supported, you taught, you healed, you built, you raised. None of that should be dismissed. Take a notebook and start writing down the chapters of your life. What events shaped you, what you're grateful to yourself for, what obstacles you overcame. Even if you think no one needs this, that's not true. First and foremost, you need it to restore the wholeness of your life story. The practice of daily gratitude can help a lot. Each evening before bed, mentally or on paper, list 3 things you're thankful for from that day. It can be anything. My back didn't hurt today. The weather was nice. I talked to my son. I cooked my favorite meal. These small notes help you focus on positive moments and gradually reshape your thinking. In just 2 or 3 weeks, this habit can reduce anxiety, improve sleep, and shift your focus away from emptiness toward content. Nutrition is also critical in this context. Many older people lose interest in food. Meals become repetitive, bland, and eaten just to fill the stomach. But food is more than calories. It's one of the ways to bring pleasure back into life. Cook for yourself as if for a guest. Make it beautiful. Try new ingredients. Revisit favorite dishes from your youth. Foods rich in tryptophan, magnesium, B vitamins, and omega-3 fatty acids are especially helpful. They directly support mood and brain health. Nuts, bananas, oatmeal, fish, dark berries, green vegetables, all of them support your mind as much as your body. Alongside physical care and daily structure, you also need to tend to what many call emotional hygiene. The inner voice in older age often becomes filled with regret, guilt, anxiety, and thoughts about the past. These thoughts play in the background. I shouldn't have done that. Why did it all go wrong? I can't handle this. Everyone else is better than me. You can't just turn them off. They're part of your experience, but you can work with them. One way is to consciously reframe the thoughts. If you catch yourself thinking, I never accomplished anything, try replacing it with, I did what I could in the conditions I had. If the thought comes up, no one needs me, change it to, I can be useful, I just haven't figured out how yet. This takes practice, but over time, your inner voice becomes less harsh and more supportive. The next step is letting go of the stereotype that older people shouldn't start anything new. This is one of the most harmful beliefs, and it keeps many from moving forward. The truth is, the brain retains the ability to learn well into old age. It responds to novelty, even if it feels like nothing is exciting anymore. Starting something new doesn't mean changing your whole life. It can be as simple as exploring a new music style, watching a documentary about a different city, or learning a few new words in another language. Even learning short phrases in English, Italian, or German stimulates brain areas responsible for flexibility and stress resistance. A study from the University of Sydney found that seniors who started learning a foreign language after 70 showed better attention, logic, and even physical coordination after just 6 months. Another key factor in restoring a sense of purpose is how you view the future. In older age, people often live entirely in memory. That's natural. After all, the past is stable. But if you only look backward, you lose your sense of horizon. Life isn't just memory. It also includes plans, even small ones, visiting a museum, learning how to use a phone app, taking a walk in the park, organizing a family dinner, making a gift for your grandchild, printing and binding a photo album. These give direction. Planning is an act of hope. Even thinking about the week ahead can give your life a sense of movement again. It's important to pay attention to the aesthetics of everyday life. When your days lose structure, you can also lose interest in the little things. But it's those small details that create mood. Replace old dishes with something new, even if it's just one cup. Decorate the windowsill, move some furniture, light a candle in the evening, play soft music, wear clothes that you genuinely enjoy. All of these are signals to your brain. I matter. I am here. I haven't given up. According to the German Association of Geriatric Psychology, older adults who consciously take care of their living space experience 41% fewer episodes of intense loneliness and show more psychological stability in times of crisis. Mindfulness is another powerful tool. It's not an abstract idea. It's a real skill, living in the present moment. When your mind is stuck in the past, you lose touch with reality. When you fear the future, anxiety sets in. Mindfulness is a way to train your attention. Focus on the smell of your tea, the sounds outside the window, the feeling of water on your hands when you wash dishes, the rhythm of your breath during a walk. These small moments bring you back to life. It's a habit you can build, and it works, especially if you combine it with breathing exercises. A slow inhale for 4 counts, hold for 2, and exhale for 6. That simple rhythm can reset your heart rate and reduce anxiety. Working with your memories is also helpful. Not by endlessly digging through them, but through a structured review. Break your life into decades. Write down the most important events. Reflect on what you learned, what you overcame, what you left behind. You can turn this into a family history, or keep it as private notes. It gives closure and helps you recognize the strength you've gained. Try ending each chapter with a positive thought. In these years, I learned how to face difficulty, or that period showed me the importance of family, or that time taught me patience. These reflections help rebuild your personal identity and renew your self-respect. Connection with nature is just as vital. People who spend at least 20 minutes outside every day have noticeably higher levels of life energy. Fresh air, the sight of trees and birds, watching the clouds move. These things stimulate the part of the brain responsible for feeling connected to the world. Even stepping onto the balcony or taking a short walk around your building is beneficial. If you can, start caring for plants. A few flowers at home, a small garden, or a flower bed outside your entrance. All of it brings life back into your days. In taking care of something living, you find reflected meaning. As long as something depends on you, you are still needed. You are still part of the world. When someone lives in a state of internal emptiness, they stop feeling their own value. But what's even more dangerous is that they stop noticing how it affects their body. Quiet apathy erodes motivation from within, leaving no energy even for simple things like washing your face, making the bed, or stepping outside. Silent decay begins. A mind without purpose begins to malfunction. The production of key brain chemicals drops. The body's sensitivity to dopamine fades. This affects not only mood, but also reaction speed, memory, and resistance to stress. Inflammatory markers rise. Oxidative stress increases. Blood circulation worsens. This creates fertile ground for disease, heart issues, blood vessel problems, autoimmune disorders. In some cases, it leads to cognitive decline, dementia, depression, even premature death. What makes this even more dangerous is that others often don't notice what's happening. An elderly person may appear perfectly fine, clean, well-dressed, with decent medical results, but inside they may feel like they're fading away, invisible, unneeded, directionless. That's why it's so important to recognize the signs early and take action. Even if you've been putting it off, even if it feels like it's too late. Know this: as long as you're alive, you can change everything. And you don't need a grand purpose. You don't have to save the world or change history. All you need is to feel that you can influence your own condition. Start with breathing, with a short walk, with opening a window and taking in fresh air with the intention to live. The mind begins to reset the moment it senses that you, the owner of the body, have returned. Movement begins. And that movement sends a clear message to the body. I'm no longer drifting. I'm back in control. You can choose any direction where there is life, helping others, creating something, taking care of yourself, learning new things, reconnecting with people, planting something, writing things down, or joining others in daily tasks. You don't have to wait for inspiration. Just start acting, even if you don't feel like it. Within 2 or 3 weeks, you'll start to notice that your days no longer feel the same. A sense of stability will return, and somewhere deep inside, you'll feel a spark of curiosity, small, timid, but real. One more topic deserves special attention: reaching out for professional help. Many older people view therapy as unnecessary. They feel embarrassed or think that's for someone else. But the truth is, therapy can be most powerful later in life. You've lived a full life. You have things to process, accept, and release. A good therapist won't give you advice. They will ask the right questions. Through calm conversation, gentle support, and understanding, a therapist can guide you out of the emotional loop. The sooner you allow yourself that help, the sooner you'll regain joy and balance. And finally, stop comparing yourself to others. There is no one way to grow old. Everyone has their own pace, their own situation. their own limitations. Some people travel, some knit socks, some read, some care for pets. All of these are valid forms of life. You don't need to copy someone else's path. Just respect your own, your body, your story, your journey. That is what wisdom truly means. Meaning doesn't return in a flash. It's not an explosion. It's a slow sunrise. It reveals itself in small details. When you notice the smell of coffee, when you respond to someone's message, when you smile at a bird outside the window, when you listen to a song you love. These tiny moments come together into something whole. And one day, without realizing it, you'll feel it. You are alive again. Not just existing, but truly living. And that will be your personal victory. The most important thing to say in closing is this: you are not alone. All over the world, millions of older people feel exactly what you feel. But this is not a sentence. It's a phase you can move through. And if you've listened all the way to the end, you've already started. Don't lose that momentum. Erase the thought, "It's too late for me," from your mind. Too late only exists when someone gives up on living. And if you still want to live, then everything is possible. Old age is not a punishment, not a leftover, not a sunset. It's a chapter of its own, where you can be the wise hero. You can give yourself care, support, meaning, if you believe you are worthy of it. You can be a source of strength, not because you are young, but because you live with awareness. Every day is a chance. Every morning is a beginning. Every thought is a choice. If this video helped you, please subscribe, give it a like, and share in the comments what gives you a sense of inner worth. Maybe your words will be the first step for someone else who's feeling just like you right now. You are needed by yourself, by others, by life itself. And may that feeling never leave you again.